Today's podcast is for all the neurotypical wives out there who may be suffering from Cassandra Syndrome. If you're in a neurodiverse marriage, there's a pretty good chance you've asked yourself this question at some point. Does he ever care about me emotionally? Because from your side of the relationship, it can feel devastating. You explain your pain, you ask for connection, you try to communicate clearly, and somehow you still end up feeling unseen, emotionally alone, exhausted, and invisible. That experience is real. And I want to say something important right here at the beginning. Understanding neurodiversity should never invalidate your pain. But sometimes it can completely change how we interpret the behavior underneath the pain. One wife recently described her marriage like this. She says, and I quote, "I feel like I have to emotionally manage the entire household myself. My husband doesn't notice when I'm overwhelmed unless I completely break down. Then he acts confused about why I'm upset." You've lived it. Now, most people online immediately interpret this as he doesn't care, he's selfish, he's intentionally neglecting you. But clinically speaking, most autistic husbands are not tracking emotional context the same way neurotypical wives are. What you experienced as, "You saw me drowning and did nothing," may internally feel to him like, "I genuinely did not recognize the level of distress until it became visible." Now that difference really matters. Not because it erases your loneliness, but because intent changes how healing happens. Now let's look at the tragic cycle. Here's the cycle I see constantly in neurodiverse marriages. The wife feels emotionally abandoned, so she escalates emotionally, trying to feel seen. The autistic husband experiences that escalation as overwhelm, criticism, or failure, so he shuts down, withdraws, gets quiet, or becomes defensive, which then makes the wife feel even more abandoned. And why wouldn't it? And eventually both people stop feeling emotionally safe with each other. I'm guessing that in your neurodiverse marriage, both partners don't feel safe. Trust has been shot for a long time, not because you hate each other, but because both nervous systems are now operating in survival mode. And how many decades has that been going on? Now let me be very clear about something. Neurodiversity is not an excuse for emotional neglect. Your needs still matter, your exhaustion still matters, your loneliness still matters. But many wives with Cassandra Syndrome become trapped inside a painful belief that if he really loved me, this would happen naturally. Wow. That thought is going to keep you stuck. For many autistic men, emotional attunement does not happen naturally. He's low in social and emotional intelligence. He's low in social and emotional skills. He's low in social and emotional needs. What your autistic husband needs is explicit communication, structure, repetition, predictability, emotional translation, and nervous system regulation. That doesn't make your needs less valid. What it does mean is the pathway to connection is going to look different than you expect. Now, sometimes the breakthrough comes when the wife stops asking, "Why doesn't he care?" and starts asking, "What neurological barriers might be interfering with connection?" That question often reduces shame on both sides, and once shame decreases, real collaboration finally becomes possible. And you stop viewing your autistic husband as somebody who has pathological demand avoidance. Now, if you're experiencing Cassandra Syndrome, I want you to hear this very clearly. You're not crazy for feeling emotionally deprived, but you also may not be seeing intentional cruelty where neurological limitations exist. And learning the difference can completely change the future of a neurodiverse marriage. Not overnight, not magically, but slowly, safely, and honestly. And that's where healing begins. And that's what we're doing on this channel. We're trying to get you to heal from Cassandra Syndrome. If this resonates, like, subscribe, and comment. I promise I will read and respond to your comment, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Hey guys, this is Mark. Some of you may not know that I have a lot of books on Amazon. So if you like my videos, you'll like my books. I have several for ASD spouses, for NT spouses, and for the neurodiverse couple. Underneath any of my videos, you'll see this link. Feel free to click on that link and see what's available. I'm sure you'll find something that applies to you. So if you're struggling in your neurodiverse marriage, help is available, one click away.